Hello, I'm Ben from howtosandafloor.com, and in this video I just want to clear up a very common question that I get on my website. Many people are curious about and a bit worried about if they're going to be sanding their own floors, and that is, can you sand and refinish engineered wood flooring? And the answer is yes, so long as you have enough of a solid wood wear layer that you can sand into without then going through to the ply base. So just to demonstrate, you've got a solid wood top here, and I think that's about 5 or 6 millimeters, and then you've got the plywood base. Now if you were to, even with solid wood, if you were to start sanding down to the tongue and groove, the flooring's done anyway. It needs to be ripped up and thrown away. So this kind of is basically the same as sanding solid wood flooring. You do get a little bit more leeway with solid wood flooring. If gaps open up, then you can fill it, but obviously that's not a best case scenario. So I've got some solid wood flooring here, which if you actually compare them, you can actually see that you know, maybe you've got another sand in the solid wood flooring here, but you know, once you start getting down that low, I mean, there's not much in it. So the simple answer is yes, you can sand engineered wood flooring. The problem comes along when you have engineered wood floors that are between 1 and 3 millimeters. So sometimes you have a very thin veneer, and if you were to attempt to sand that over your whole floor, there's a very good chance that you can go through into the ply. And once you do that, there's no going back. You can't sand over it and get rid of it. You're just going to go deeper and deeper into the ply. So, and it has happened to me once or twice. Usually it's been in situations where it's been an exotic wood, which I just would have not expected to have been a veneer. And it turns out to have been a 1 millimeter veneer, and we've started sanding it and we've just gone straight through it straight away. There's another video on YouTube where a guy is demonstrating with a 1 millimeter veneer bit of engineered wood flooring, and he's rubbed it back, but he hasn't got any of the dirt out of the grain. I think there's a few scratches in it. If he were actually to sand it hard enough to actually get rid of the dirt and scratches, he might get away with it on that one board. But if he was to do that over a whole floor, I would say it'd be virtually impossible not to go through the hardwood layer on the surface. So he says it's fine to actually sand that type of flooring, which I don't. I think you need a minimum of about 3 millimeters, and you need your floor to be basically flat. If you've got boards that are buckled up like that, and that the sanding machine is going to take these peaks down, then there's a good chance you could go through through to the ply. And also if the boards are cut, so if there's moisture on the bottom and it causes the ends to come up slightly, even then usually it looks a lot worse than it is, and you can sand it and finish it and it's fine. But if it's really bad and you've got a fairly thin, maybe 3 millimeter wear layer, then I would avoid doing that. So in short, if you've got engineered wood flooring, check to see how deep your wear layer is. If it's like this, anything above 4 millimeters, I mean, it should be fine, so long as you don't just get a sanding machine and stand there and dig into it for 5 minutes. Yeah, you should be fine. So good luck with it, and I hope it goes well. Actually, I just wanted to show you, I've got it's a bit of cheap Chinese flooring. And if you actually look at these, this is solid wood and this is engineered, and there's actually more room to sand on the engineered floor than on this Chinese piece. For some reason, the bit below the tongue and groove is thicker than the bit above. So this is solid wood, and yet it's less. You might get one sand out of that, whereas this has got a slightly thicker layer. I don't know if you can see that very well. So yeah, this a little bit dodgy. That you can sand that all day long, absolutely no problem. If you found this video helpful, then please click like, subscribe, and watch more of my videos. Cheers.